Hey all, welcome back to my channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Jules. I mostly make videos about squishmallows lately, but prior to that, I did mental health, makeup, and music as my main topics. But I've really been liking vlogs. I've been very fascinated by other people's vlogs, especially people who are nothing like me, because I learn so much about how we're different, why we're different, and just about them in general. And I love learning about people, so I think it's really cool. And I feel motivated to make my own vlog that's a day in my life. I know those videos don't do well on my channel, but I think it's fun. So I hope there's an audience out there that just likes to see what someone does in a day. I didn't film my whole day because I was grumpy when I woke up this morning. I've been sleep deprived for a couple days, but this is my winter gear attire to go for a walk. I have leggings under my pajama pants and 2 pairs of socks on because it's really cold out where I live, and I go for a walk with my dad in my sensory gear because of course I have autism, so I have really bad sensory issues. Not that that's the case for all autistic people, but for me it is. And I figured I would just sit down and open this vlog while I was waiting for my dad to be ready, and then maybe we could chit chat after. Another thing I do on Fridays, which is why I wanted to vlog today because it's my busiest day, is I go to my partner's house, and I already packed, but I thought maybe it might be interesting to show you how much stuff I pack because it's very stressful. You would think I was staying a long time, but no. I just need all my things. I need all my clothes, all my toiletries, all my sensory gear, all the things I need to survive in someone's house that's not mine, even though it's my partner who I love and appreciate. And driving's also hard. Another thing I have today, I'm laughing at myself, is a consult with a new potential therapist. I seem to make it about 3 to 4 sessions with therapists. That's been the pattern with 6 of them this year. Yeah, it's been intense. Don't become a therapist. It's okay if you do. I'm just joking, but it will make finding the right fit of a therapist much harder. Add in autism, being LGBT, having chronic illness, having all these intersections that sometimes therapists are like, that's not my niche, that's not my niche. Either they turn you away, which they're entitled to do, or you decide it's not a fit. And right now I'm realizing I need a fit based on how I feel. Like, I need to feel safe with the person. It's less about the modality and more about that. So I will catch you all in a little bit after my walk to check in. Burp, burp, burp. Just pouring my coffee. Ooh. That was really hard to do. I don't know how people cook holding their phone, let alone pouring a cup of coffee. Hi, we're back. I'm like this. Before I picked up the camera, I was just holding my face like this. Sensory issues, if you didn't know, cause physical pain. So I feel like my head's gonna explode because on my morning walk, for some reason, there were just a lot of people out. Apparently we went at the time where kids were going to school, so there were a lot of like child families, school buses. The trash truck comes today where we live, so there were trash and recycle trucks out. There were trash barrels and stuff for that everywhere, and some of that I expect, but it was a lot more than usual because I do usually go for my walk around the same time. It depends when my dad's ready, but it's usually between 7:30 to 8 that I leave, and it's 8:19 right now. I'm at least looking at a clock to tell you that. In my coffee, and I have to, oh my gosh, I I have to wash everything, like the coffee maker and whatever, which is a big deal for just 1 cup of coffee, but that's my routine and that's what I do. And my appointment for a consultation with this therapist is at 9:30, and I'm gonna have a snack with my dad at 9:15. And then I usually leave to go to my partner's house by like 12:15, but we are getting a new dishwasher today. So my mom is taking a half day from work and is coming home around 12, and the delivery is supposed to be from 12 to 3. I think our heating guy is also coming, so my parents just have a really busy afternoon. I cannot handle any of that, and they know that, so I won't be here, so I have to leave earlier. So I'm gonna eat earlier, which is fine. I'm gonna eat lunch at 11:30, and then I'm gonna leave at 11:45, and it's a 40-minute drive to my partner's house, and then once I'm there, I'm just kind of done, and I sit there for a few hours. So, but I just have a headache, and I'm trying to remember everything I need to do because like I said, I have not been sleeping well because I've been very stressed. I kind of want to talk about what happened with my current therapist, but I feel like with the current climate of social media, I'm going to protect my parts on that one. I think it could be interesting to talk about, but let's just say we weren't a fit. We'll keep it vague in general, like the neurotypical world does. I don't think that we're a fit. I think that through therapy, I need to feel safe, and that aligns with trauma therapy. Phase 1 of trauma therapy is safety and stabilization. And I'm just someone who needs a lot of that. I need to heal my nervous system. I don't need to process and talk through all these painful things. I've done years and years of therapy throughout my life like that. Like, I'm very aware of myself, my patterns, the relational problems that I struggle with, and why. The therapist I'm meeting with today does emotion-focused individual therapy, which is a modality that was modified from a couples counseling modality, which was emotion-focused therapy. I did not do that when I was a clinician, so I don't know a lot about it. I know it has to do with attachment and emotions, which is very obvious from the name. I'm being realistic, giving myself a break. I changed my shirt, obviously, and was gonna wear leggings today, but I'm just wearing the pajama pants because if I wear leggings, then I have no pockets. And having no pockets annoys me so much. I need to have pockets to put my phone and my headphones in, which, oh, good thing I grabbed them. Reminder, I need to charge these. I'm currently charging my other headphones that I use on my computer for my meeting that's coming up in a little bit. I know today is like not busy for most people. I do much less than other people because of my disability. So today is a very busy day for me and it stresses me out. But I just thought maybe taking y'all with me could be interesting. Here's my toiletry bag and everything I pack for an overnight and a morning. So I have all my skincare, my deodorant, my contact lenses, allergy eye drops because my partner has dogs and I'm allergic, my toothbrush and my wisdom toothbrush and floss. I have Flonase in here that you can't see, some clips, some Q-tips, some lip ointment, stuff to put my hair back so I can wash my face. I have my hairbrush in there. And yes, I know it's not very environmentally friendly. So instead of yelling at me, if it bothers you, I would actually like to hear how I could go about this more environmentally friendly, because I don't know almost nothing about anything except mental health and squishmallows. So if you have a kind, gentle suggestion about a better way to do my packing, I am all for it. Thank you. This is my bag that bag you saw earlier will go into. So I have pajamas for tonight and clothes underneath for tomorrow. I also have all my snacks in here, which is a pack of pretzels. I have cookies that Dave and I share on Friday nights as an evening snack, and goldfish. Snacks are really important, and if you want to yell at me for it, go talk to my eating disorder informed dietitian, because I have someone very qualified to help me with all of that, and I am supposed to have my snacks. I don't have everything packed in here except my coffee cup. I have like a Dunk's tumbler coffee cup because I make iced coffee in the morning on Saturdays when I go over there. I also have my glasses in here, and good thing I'm filming this because I didn't put my medicine in my bag and I need to pack that. I don't have my phone charger in here because I probably will need to charge my phone before I leave, but my phone charger will go in here. The noise canceling earbuds I showed in a clip earlier, when they're charged, will also go in here, and that's almost everything. This is my little pill bottle. So these are all my meds. Wonderful news is I'm off methimazole now. I have Graves' disease and I was on that for 18 months and I just stopped it this week because my thyroid is stabilized. And then in this container, I have stuff that helps me with sleep and anxiety as needed. I usually do take my hydroxyzine when I'm at Davis because even though that's a medication that can help anxiety as a PRN, meaning as needed, it also helps with allergies. And again, since I'm allergic to the dogs, that just really helps me even more. And it does help me with sleep when I don't take it too often. And I have trouble sleeping when I'm not at my house. And he lives on a main road, so sensory. And I also have a little teeny clonazepam in there. I am prescribed that as needed, but I more so use it as, you call it, like having a cigarette in your bag when you're quitting smoking. It's like a security blanket. I know it's there if I need it. I almost never take it when I'm there. I just always make sure I have one with me, so I'm not like, oh my gosh, what if something happens? I have a big panic attack or meltdown and I don't have Klonopin and blah, 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 blah. Then I'm just like, okay, it's there if I need it. So as you can see, there's a lot of planning and preparation that I do to make sure I can go to my partner's house and have everything I need. But I am going to go to the bathroom and do my dishes. I just turned my computer on and I might do some notes of questions for this therapist, and I'll catch you all soon. Hi, it's 8:47 a.m. now and I'm ready. I don't have an email with a link yet, which always gets to my OCD, even though I logically know that this person probably did not start work yet. This was all at the last minute, and when they log on, they will probably send the email, no problem. But So I want to show you a little bit about my system of what I do when I need to make consult questions or make a document for an appointment, because I'm neurodivergent and my ADHD especially has been really, really bad because I've been sleep deprived and stressed and all that stuff, and it affects everything. My brain fog feels really awful today. I use ChatGPT to help me make documents, and basically I asked it to ask me one question at a time related to things that are important to me in therapy, to help make a list of questions of things that are important to me in therapy, because my brain just doesn't work the way it once did due to long-term burnout that I can't seem to get out of. And I'm going to work on that now with my fuzzy belly Gigi, and I will check in with you all in a little bit. But if you're not anti-AI, I think it can be a really helpful tool, and if you are, that's totally valid and okay. I just wish we could all do what works for us. It's 8:58 now, so this is my conversation with ChatGPT, and I was asking it about the modality that this therapist does earlier this morning, and then I went back to that to come up with sections. So it came up with these categories, although I think it might have narrowed those down a little more, which is fine. I think my questions are kind of repetitive, but I have too much brain fog to care. So I just copied and pasted everything today that it did in these sections and just said, great, I'm probably not going to have time in a consult to get to all the questions, but I will. So here is my document, thanks to chat, with all my sections and all my questions. Again, I strongly doubt that in a consult you're going to get to 3 pages worth of questions, but I think it's better to have more instead of less when you go into something, which also represents how I pack to go to my partner's house. In ADHD fashion, I'm reading about this at the last minute. This is very interesting to me, and I can see how this modality is a trauma-focused therapy because it has stages in it that seem very similar to the general trauma therapy stages. As you can see, there's a stabilization phase, which is stage 1, and phase 1 of trauma-focused therapy usually is safety and stabilization. So I have a feeling that her framework probably aligns with what I need. Because I'm autistic and because I was a therapist, I want to know so much more about it and understand it better. And I don't want it to move too fast and go into those other stages until I'm ready to. And I'm also curious about how it's modified for people with other diagnoses and marginalization. So I'm just going to look through whatever it lets me look through. So I'm gonna read this introduction and whatever I can read for free while I sit here and wait, because if I just sit here and don't do anything, I will probably panic because I'm having a rough time. This is very interesting to read. So this is about a case study that they use the modality on of someone who has complex PTSD, like moi, like me. Henny tells me that her life was a whirlwind, and indeed she spoke very fast, moving from story to story and from childhood to recent events in an intellectualized, haphazard way that was very difficult to make coherent sense of. I struggled to piece together key events and timelines for the experiences and the breakup. We moved through assessment, and I stayed in empathic reflection mode for most of the first 10 sessions, clarifying, defining moments in her life. If I tried to slow her down, go deeper into any particular moment or theme, she would stop and begin another story. I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if that isn't me. If someone tells me to slow down while I am talking, I just shut down. I just stop talking. I've been that way my entire life. I am so triggered by that. And I am someone who's always talked fast. I always thought talking fast was while it can be an ADHD thing, definitely can be an anxiety thing, it can be a sign of sympathetic activation. And that's how a lot of my therapy sessions go. So that was that's very interesting to read. And it's interesting this modality factors in, we can't push them on that yet. We need to just hear them, hear their story, allow them to embody who they are in this moment and get it out and make sense of it how we can. So it also shows a correlation between how an ADHD or ADHD person might be very scattered, and how when you have CPTSD, that also happens in your life and communication and stuff like that. So I do find this really interesting. I feel my special interest bubbles tickling up here, tingling, not tickling. I do that cognitive thing so much where I say a word that's similar to another word that begins with the same letter, but is not the word I'm looking for. Anyway, so we'll see how it goes. I'm going to just double check again if I have an email, because it's 9:07, but it's probably going to be at the last minute, and I'm having anxiety that they're just not going to write back to me and are going to forget, but I don't know. I have complete uncertainty. All I know is I'm prepared. If it doesn't happen, I have to accept it and try not to have a meltdown about it, but I'm in a bad place with CPTSD. So it's 9:07, almost time to have my snack, and almost time, hopefully, for this consult to really happen. Woohoo! 9:28 a.m. checking in. If you want to know how neurotic we are, I sent an email to make sure I didn't miss it. I also checked my spam folder because I still don't have a link, and I'm going, oh no, did something come up? What? I just don't know the story. I don't have any communication, so I don't know yet. And I also totally validate it was a last minute consult. It's okay if it's a couple minutes late. I'm available. Oh, there it is. Okay, good. Hey crew, it is 9:59 a.m. I'm out of my meeting and it went well. Being neurodivergent, it's very overwhelming meeting new people. You never get an immediate reaction or feeling like this is it, this is the person, or I feel safe. But I've been kind of impulsive in consults before and been like, let's do it. Let's do the intake. And I could feel that part trying to do that. So I told her, no, that's okay. I'm going to wait. I'm honestly just going to wait and take my time. And she was okay with that. I asked specifically if there was a deadline of when I have to reach out. And I asked her to send me her availability just to make sure that it aligns and there's a good time we can meet for an appointment. But she did explain more of the emotion-focused individual therapy. And it was very interesting. And I was telling her about problems I've had with therapists this year and some themes of those. And I really appreciate how she's very focused on attunement and building trust and safety and the therapeutic relationship. It reminds me a lot of me and how I used to practice. And it's so funny because the provider world is so small that she was like, yeah, I remember you from 2 years ago when you came in as a potential client. And I've also seen you on psych today. I know you were a therapist and all of that. And I was like, wow, like that's so cool that she knew I was a therapist and stuff. She's probably looking up therapists for other clients or herself. And I don't know how I feel yet. I'm going to give myself time to process this and make a decision and go from there. I think I need to be certain I'm going to terminate with my therapist. I heard a part say I'm 98% sure, and I was on 95 the other day. But yeah, I don't want to feel worse. And I think a therapist who wishes they could focus on attunement but isn't really trained in a modality or approach that's going to help them do that might have a hard time with that, especially if they have their own unresolved trauma and they're human too. And trust me, if you're a trauma specialist, there's a reason you came to that specialty. It's not always your own trauma. It might be of someone you loved or something like that, but that is a common reason people do that. But wow, this vlog's been really long this morning. So I'm gonna log off for now and just rest because that was a lot for me in my brain, but they were nice and fair and got at a lot of things. Interestingly enough, they didn't even realize dissociative disorders was on their list. So that's not a specialty for them, but they work with those folks because the modality they do is for severe complex trauma, which is what causes OSDD and DID anyways. I did work with a specialist in that this year and that was also not a fit. So I don't think it's exactly about that. And I'm never going to find someone who has all the right bells and whistles and the right part. Like no one's going to fit my niche box that I'm thinking about in my head. And I do accept that. I just have to move forward to process this and figure out what I'm going to do next. She did say that it's very cool I haven't given up despite everything I've been through, and I'm still looking for a therapist and I'm still giving people chances, and I agree. Hey everyone, it is 1:05 p.m. I am at my partner's house. I cannot wait to get the light out of my face. I just have it so that you can see me. I have my squish. I brought Floyd with me and Sanjay from my house. And then, of course, Trenton lives here at Dave's. So I have 3 of my Squishmallows to keep me company. And when I feel better, I'm going to turn that TV around and watch my vlogs, which I am looking forward to because I'm very angry right now. And I did terminate with my therapist. I still don't want to talk about it because I feel like social media doesn't really care about trans people all that much lately, considering the current state of the world. But I am in shock and pretty horrified at how awful that whole experience was. I've had problems with therapists, but never like this, never to this level like this. I am so disgusted by a text that I received from this provider and the excuses that they made. And I'm not going to say more than that because I feel like punching my phone screen, and that's okay because I have a right to feel angry about it, and I'm just going to take a break from therapy. I might work with another person, but the slot she had didn't really work great for me in my schedule, and I just said I'm happy to wait until there's a better fit because I'm kind of in shock because my therapist was transphobic. So that's what I was alluding to earlier. And no, it wasn't just that she missed my pronouns. There was a lot that she said and made excuses about. I'm making sure that my community knows to not work with her because it's unsafe. You deserve to go to therapy and feel safe enough. The whole point is that you have trauma and you don't, and other people made you feel that way. And therapy is supposed to be a corrective experience so that you actually heal. And I wish that for you all. I hope that if you're watching this, you're like, whoa, I've never been through that. I have a great therapist and I'm really happy and da-da-da. I think that is so important. But I am gonna get on going and just try to zone out for a few hours while I'm here and calm down from being really angry. And I will see you all and check in a little while. I'm thinking of checking in and showing you the dinner that I ordered because Dave's parents are going out tonight. Dave's parents, when they're home, his mom makes like a nice dinner. She's a great cook, but Dave's just really spent from work. So we're just getting some takeout, and I figured I'd show you what I got because why not? And I figured I'd just end the vlog there because it's already really long. But I did it. I made it. The day is almost over. See y'all later. Hey y'all. I did not show you my dinner, but in the fridge, I have some leftover rice. Totally forgot because that's the life. But right now in my routine, I'm making my iced coffee for tomorrow. And Dave's parents accidentally threw it out one time. So I came up with a solution. There's my solution. I found a sticky note. I made it happen. Now I'm putting these in the fridge because every morning I drink a seltzer water, and I also do that when I am at Dave's. So I am putting these in the fridge now so that they'll be super cold for tomorrow because the other flavors are in here he likes but I don't like. So I'm all set. Oh wait, I gotta fix my sticky note. So I'm not ending the vlog where I said I was going to, but that's because a lot happened today. But don't worry, I'm feeling a lot better. But I'm gonna go back and see Dave because I'm sure he's wondering where the heck I am, and I will catch you all on the flip side. Bye all.